You're listening to Nothing's Off the Table, the podcast where no subject is too taboo to discuss. Now, please welcome your hosts, Andy Barker and Lou Del Pree. Welcome back, everybody. Obviously, Lou is not here tonight. Actually, I take that back. Lou was just out in the tanning bed and he ate about 50 pounds of burgers before the show. So, Lou, welcome back to the show, my friend. Go ahead, sir. I was just kidding. So, all right, bad joke, failed miserably. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you my guest for this evening, and his name is Ganesh, and Ganesh is coming to us all the way from India.
Yes, I am coming from all the way from India on the other side of the planet.
You know, I just did a podcast about 2 weeks ago with a gentleman named Mark Sargent, and he's I like to call him a flat Earth theorist. So, talking to him, you'd probably say if you went the way you just described it, you'd fall off the dinner dish or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think you'd probably say India is like a conspiracy theory. You'd be like, yeah, it does not exist.
Well, I guess some people could look at it that way.
Mhm.
I try not to look at things at all. It's painful. But anyway, it's daytime there, correct?
Yes, it's like early morning. It's like 6:30 a.m. here.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for getting up and doing this then, because I don't know if my old ass would get up that early.
That's okay because I have my own podcast and I talk to Americans all the time. I sometimes I have to wake up at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes
Oh,
sometimes 2:30 to do a recording. and you know and I need to get at least like 1 hour before the record, right? Because
right.
otherwise my voice will be like all sleepy and drooly. So that's kind of struggle for me now, because and now it has just become like an habit, like just wake up in the morning, early morning, to just do a show.
Wait a minute. Wait
So
a
yeah,
minute.
I'm quite, yeah.
Aren't you the Indian Joe Rogan?
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
My podcast is called a Sapient Podcast, like a shameless plug.
Well, yeah. Tell us more about it.
So Sapient Podcast really came into existence because like lot of podcasts, unlike yours, a lot of podcasts are like very well polished, and they have like authors and philosophers on their podcast, and they talk
Hurtful.
serious business.
Hurtful. All right. Well,
And
thanks for your time. That's all we have for you tonight. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
yeah, so I was like, okay, now let's take Socrates or any other philosopher in the history, right? And people put them in a higher pedestal than themselves, because they think these are wise people, who are just perfect. I'm like, no, they were not perfect, of course, because they were also offending someone. They were also just joking around, right, in their lifetime. It was not like they were walking into every room, like in announcing a quote.
Well, thanks for ruining
So
my childhood.
mm,
Jeez.
yeah, that's a really big spoiler alert for people.
I
uh,
guess I'm going to get rid of my bed sheet now. Jeez.
yeah, I mean, that's like, so I was like, like, okay, now let's say you're an author and people know you by your work, right? But you're also a person with full of flaws and your own character. And often in history books, that's like not recorded unless you're absolutely weird. So Sapient is kind of my attempt to do that, like talk to the same authors and philosophers and just poke holes and find out who they are actually as a person.
Very interesting. So you kind of go the indirect route and not what most of them are used to hearing. Is that right?
Hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, but I can also be like blunt.
Like calling my podcast out earlier for not being polished.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what's going on here, pal. Geez. Listen, this is my show, all right? You can't come up. No, I'm just kidding. Tell us more about you, man. You, according to what you sent me in your little bio there, man, you do quite a bit.
Mhm. Yeah, I am kind of. I like to believe like I have ADHD because I'm just good, like average at everything.
Fair.
And because I started as a digital marketer, in my profession. And I soon figured out, because actually my education is in accounting,
Really?
so I was an accountant, and I did that job for like 2 months, and I figured out, if I do this anymore, I will die at 30. I don't want to die at 30.
Wait, well, how old are you?
Get the hell out of this job. I'm 26 right now.
God, man, you look great. You don't look a day over 56, bro. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Must be
I'm
the
trying to
beard.
look
Must be the beard.
rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, must be the beard. Yeah. So I was like, let's try this digital marketing thing, because I was very interested in it. And I started around when I was like 19, I would say, before even graduating in
Hmm.
digital marketing. But I always thought like this is going to be like part-time job, like, just something that I'm going to do on the side. But it turns out accounting absolutely sucks. So I was like, okay, Tata Baba, I see you. I'm going to digital marketing, and I started with web development and all these things. So it's been like 7 years professionally. I mean, it's like legally working for 7 years, but I've been working far longer than that. And then, like, I had this creative itch where I went, okay, I need to do something of my own, right? Because I need to leave my own signature in this world. How ugly it might be, it does not matter.
True.
So I was like, let's go ahead and start a firm, because I am very good at social media. Not at content creating, not at ask working. I'm just good with strategies and helping small businesses grow. So I was like, okay, let me start that. And I started a brand called a Socia Strat. So that is into social media
So
strategy
are
consultation.
you the guy that I get like 10,000 emails from a week saying, hey, go with me and I'll get you 10,000 subscribers and blah, 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 blah? Okay,
No,
good.
that's not me.
Good. We can talk.
Yeah. I wish that could be me, but that's apparently not me. Because like, we don't do paid ads, like we don't talk about paid ads and paid things, right? We are like, okay, what can we achieve at the maximum by organic, right? By not paying the rich oligarchs of this planet.
Wow.
What can we achieve, and how can we game the system? That's the bigger question, right? Because anybody can spend more money, but they need to have money to even get started, and that's like a wrong way to look at
I'm
it.
going to ask you to stop using those big words with me.
I will simplify it for you. um,
Thanks.
yeah. So, and then, I was like, and I have been running this company for a few years, and recently I've started my own podcast called as Sapient Podcast. So
Excellent.
yeah, I'm kind of doing few things right now.
Good. So my wife, her degree's in accounting. And that's why I was kind of laughing earlier. And she doesn't work in accounting either. So
Yeah.
lesson learned, folks. If you want your degree in accounting, just don't do it because it's a waste of money. You'll hate it.
Yeah, unless you are in a country like India, right, where you could, because I finished my degree in like $1,200 for 3 years.
Wow. Are you kidding? Man, it's funny. I'm going back to school right now myself. I just paid almost $300 for a used textbook.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. And you went through
And
for a full 3 years on $1,200.
yeah, 1,200
You know
bucks.
what? I
I,
take
I
back what
finished
I
my
said
degree for.
earlier. I am offended now.
Mhm.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
you
No,
must be.
I'm
You
just
must be
kidding.
as an American. It's your birthright, right? Because you just sold your soul to a financial institution so that you could get educated.
Actually, no. The government is paying for my
Hmm.
degree. So I'm a
Yeah.
disabled veteran, 100% disabled.
Hmm.
So I'm getting my schooling for free. So thank you, American taxpayers.
Yeah. I mean, no offense, but you just had to put your life on the line, right, to get good education.
Yeah, basically. I spent over 30 years in the military, but that's this show's not about me. It's about you, my friend. So
Hmm.
I'll guess I'll just shut my mouth and know my role. So
Um,
you're a I would say just from knowing you for the last 20, 30 minutes, I would say you're very
mhm.
atypical when it comes to Indian society and culture. Would you agree or no?
N- Definitely not.
No? You would not agree?
Yeah, no, no, because I am like the American version of an Indian.
American Indian. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
How? How are you? That's cultural appropriation, my friend. Shame on you.
That's okay. I'm not in the country of, offensive land, right?
So I imagine with you saying that, you could probably tell me what a woman is.
Yeah, a woman is anyone who has a vagina, I think.
Naturally or man made?
I don't give a shit at this point. Sorry, I just swear, but I don't give a damn. I'm like, you be you.
That's right.
Like,
I hear you.
yeah, if
Go ahead.
in Japan, a guy like wore a dog suit and he recognized himself as a dog. I'm like, yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Do whatever you want to do, but don't try to force your agenda
Yeah.
on me. Hell, if
Yeah,
you're,
but I think like that's like humans' nature to overreach.
I would agree.
Because I've been studying a lot on overreaching of humans. For example, British, Spanish, French, and now Americans.
Dirty
Um, you
Americans.
know, yeah, because they got a good place a long time ago, and they could have just stopped there, but they keep on pushing, right? They want like drag queen shows in the schools. They want to teach children how to switch their gender before even knowing how do they switch out of their underwears. These kids
Right.
have to know. Okay, I don't feel like a man today, and yeah, like it at this point it's just like funny and sad more than infuriating, because of course I don't have my own child and I'm definitely not in United States. But I imagine if anyone had a child in United States, they're like, like, f you, I'm going to take action on
Yeah.
this.
My co-host Lou, who's not here, bastard. He always says, he's not worried about what they teach in school, and simply because he parents at home, you know,
Hmm.
he's there being a very active in his child's life, and what the
Hmm.
child comes home and tells him, he will either agree with or say no, that's not correct, and so the way he sees it is his child wins no matter what, because while the other kids are worried about, do I feel like a boy or a girl today, his child is sitting there kicking ass and taking names with her subjects in school and everything else, So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
And I also feel like, like burdening children with these philosophical questions, because I feel like sex is not like practical question. It's a very philosophical question, right? Like, who are you? And
I'm Andy.
children don't know shit.
Yeah, my kids especially. That's not true. My kids
Yeah.
are smart as hell, and they get it all from their mother.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, they get
Yeah.
their looks from her too.
I absolutely don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah, just put it in the shitter. Like I tried to warn you before the show, man. About 90% of the crap that comes out of my mouth is just that crap. So you can disregard most of it. Every now and then I'll slip
Yeah.
something serious in on you and really throw you for a loop.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's okay.
so it's funny that it's not funny. It's sad. You're half a world away, literally, and you
Mm-hmm.
are very well versed in the ridiculousness that's going on here in the United States. And I find that to be
Yeah.
kudos to you, number one. But I
Mm-hmm.
find it kind of sad from my country's perspective, because you could walk out on any street in America and ask 10 people a basic civics question about the United States government, and 9 out of 10 of them will get it wrong. It's very
Yeah.
disheartening.
I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel. I don't remember on whose like daily show it was. His show people went on street and asked to point out at Mexico and Canada, and finally, they went to a place where they were asking just like, can you point in United States? And people were like pointing it in Israel or
Oh
something.
my God.
And I was like, damn, like,
That's our.
how the fuck do you live so like miserable? Because that's just miserable,
Well,
right?
no,
Because of
really,
not having
honestly,
access
what
to
it is,
information.
it's they're not miserable. They're just living their own world, their own little reality. And if that's what gets you through the day, good on you. Whatever. Doesn't work for me, but if it works for you,
Yeah.
good for you. What does Ganesh like to do for fun?
So I just like to like learn like mad stuff,
Like,
you know, like how to control people, you know.
well, all right
Yeah,
then.
I'm just
No,
kidding.
you're not.
Yeah, I love sports, both and like physical sport and like PC
Hmm.
games. So yeah, I play cricket. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it's like a foreign thing for Americans, I
Hmm.
believe, but cricket is a sport that we play. And
You got it from the dirty British, didn't you?
yeah, okay, there is a funny saying about cricket, like it was made by British for Indians.
Oh, I didn't know that. Are you being serious or?
Yeah, because no, it's just like a quote because they like invented the sport and we just mastered it. Like, Indian cricket board is like the richest cricket board in the planet.
Hmm. Wow, I didn't know that.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I like to, like play cricket. Have you seen a cricket bat though?
You have not?
No,
Oh,
have
have I?
you seen a
Yeah, yeah.
cricket bat?
I'm very well. Well, I've never played, but I'm very
Hmm.
familiar with it.
Hmm.
It's like a. It's
So
like what I used to get paddled with in when I was in grade school.
exactly. Like, may I show what's a cricket
Yeah, of
bat
course.
to your audience?
Wait, you're not going to take your
Just a
pants
minute.
off, are you?
Hopefully, that should not be a requirement. Yeah. So, to your audience, like this is a cricket bat.
Yes, sir.
So, there is this handle that you hold, and this is a place where you hit the ball with.
I have to admit, I do not know the rules of cricket.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's a very stupid, silly game. Like, it's not that complicated, like baseball.
So when you pitch
Or
the ball in cricket, you bounce it
Mhm.
in, right?
Yeah, you have to bounce it.
Okay. That's like a lot of my little league pitchers. They bounce the ball into the plate, but they're not supposed to be doing that.
But in cricket, like to pitch, they run from like 30 to 40 steps.
Yeah. I don't know how
So
they
they
do it,
build up a
man.
lot of steam.
Now, does everybody
Yeah.
pitch, or is that like that's your specialty? You're a pitcher only.
Yeah, there are people like, because pitching is like a
Hmm.
specialty. So it's like maybe four people in a team or five people in a team can pitch.
Now, do you guys in cricket when you pitch? Are there? Do you know what a breaking ball is in baseball? Like a curveball,
No
a
idea.
slider.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Got it.
Are they able to put English on the ball like that and bounce it and make it curve and move?
Yeah. So, like for example, you said curveball, right?
Hmm.
Now we call that as either in swing or out swing. It depends on the direction of the ball. On if it is coming into you, it is in swing,
Hmm.
in the air. It's not even like after pitch. But there are ballers who will just rotate the ball from that particular pitch, like where it
Hmm.
bounced. From there it will change the angle, and sometimes you can see like three directions in one ball, like it
Wow,
will come in, out, and then again in the last moment.
that's crazy. So that's what you call them. You call them ballers.
Yeah,
That's
ballers.
badass. What's up, baller?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite music? What do you listen to when you're sitting there doing your computer stuff?
So I usually listen to like pop. I know I'm trash in music, but I listen to pop and sometimes country music, like when I'm really bored. Um,
When I need a good cry, I listen to country.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like yeah, I'm also like a huge fan of rap music, and not like the United States rap,
Okay, talk
uh,
to me here.
because you guys have somehow forgotten how to rap in recent years.
God, isn't that the damn truth? I can't listen to any of the new stuff, man. It's all old school for me. I
Hmm.
I call it mush mouth,
Yeah.
marble mouth rap.
Yeah. And like right now, if you look at Britain, like our colonists, um, they have a pretty good rap scene
Hmm.
in their country. Like they are doing good. and India has our own like rap industries, because we have like 64 languages
Wow.
in India, and those are 64 recognized languages. We seem to have like 93 languages actually, but many of the languages lack their own alphabets and grammar,
Got it. More like slang.
so they're not. No, it's a totally different language. It's like if you spoke
Hmm.
Spanish, you're writing Spanish in English. That's a different language, right? So you know there are 64 languages which have their own kind of typography and grammar and everything.
Hmm.
So we have so many industries of rap or just movies, because when you talk to an ignorant person, they will say, have you seen a Bollywood movie? And I'm like, you do realize like not everybody watches Bollywood, right? Because we have like 20 film industries in India.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you want to know a fun fact about movies though?
So I'd like to know, do you watch Bollywood? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, I would like fun facts.
Yeah, do you want to guess like which country puts out the like the most amount of movies in a year?
I would say India.
No, it's Nigeria.
Really?
Yeah,
Seriously?
for
Wow.
some reason. Yeah, because there have been many countries who have like higher tax brackets for movies,
Hmm.
like anything income related movies, and Nigeria has a very like relaxed rule. So a lot of people launch it as a Nigerian movie.
Ah, interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, we are just second in terms of how many movies we put out.
Just second.
Yeah, we have like 90, 95, sometimes 100 movies in a year.
Wow. So I don't know if you know or care, but apparently Hollywood writers are on strike right now, and I think
Yeah.
it's great.
Hmm.
Yeah, I read an
Yeah, but
article today that some of the actors in Hollywood are having to resort to like flea markets and things like that to make a living. But last I checked in California, McDonald's is almost up to $20 an hour. So why don't you just go get a real job?
mhm.
Just
Yeah,
me.
and do you want to know the funniest thing is like now all of the daily show hosts are getting exposed. They're like, we cannot do a show without my writer,
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, then you're not a comedian. Like, don't claim to be a comedian. You're just a host.
that's right.
You're just a fancy, like weather girl.
You're
That's all you are.
yeah. Yeah, you're just the mouthpiece at that point. There's no,
Yeah.
I was talking to a buddy of mine about this the other night. There is no more originality in Hollywood. None.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
remaking movies and we're switching things up. And quite frankly, I used to be a big movie guy. I used to love to go to the movies, and
Hmm.
I don't have any desire to even go see anything nowadays.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I had another guest on my podcast, and I just told him something like, imagine the movie where Robert Downey Jr. becomes a black person,
That's a
the thunderstorm. I don't remember
Yeah,
the
it's
name.
Tropic
Some
Thunder.
storm,
Tropic Thunder.
a Tropic Thunder. Yeah, imagine that movie in today, like in today's
Oh
world.
yeah.
Half of the Baltimore would be on fire. You know, people just wrecking all this stuff.
I'm just a dude playing the dude disguised as another
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. That movie. Imagine today.
Oh yeah, you couldn't. There's no way you could do it. And that's
Mhm.
what, maybe 20 years old, maybe.
No, it's not even 20. It's like 15 or
Yeah.
12, I think.
How ridiculous is that, man?
Yeah.
That's our now is Indian society as crazy and as jacked up as we are here.
No. The thing about India is like, those who are like Western countries bootlickers,
Mhm.
absolutely like, if Western media said, shit is great, they would say shit is great. Like, literally I'm talking about. And those people are just woke people, and they're like maybe like 1% of India.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, but Indians in general, the problem is you cannot like bullshit over here. People find out very quickly if someone is being, like acting as BS. Um, for example, this Justin Trudeau, MF of Canada. Yeah, he's on some drugs like I don't know what.
I'm not exactly sure I understand how you feel about that. Could you maybe explain? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so yeah, I can explain. Like I don't care. Um,
I would agree
yeah,
with you.
because India has always had this stance of like soft politics. Like we don't want to be arrogant and shit. And this new generation of Indians are like, no, like if you like like this is me and you have to deal with it.
Hmm.
So it's like it's funny, right? When United States put out a hit on Taliban's leader in Pakistan, right? That was not an issue, right? That was like, okay, you're doing a great heroic thing, right? Like we will praise you for the rest of your life, even though I still remember when Obama was in power, and they asked him, like, I think 16 children died in a drone attack, and he said it was he used a very technical word. um I will remember, and I will tell you that, like, he said it was just like a side result of what we're trying to accomplish. And
Now,
you
let
know
me be clear. Let me
mhm.
be clear. I'm Obama. I killed
Yeah,
16
you're
children.
Obama. Yeah, and in one drone strike.
You know what's
And he
funny?
said it was.
I'm sorry, I cut you
Mhm.
off. I apologize. There was a story, a big story last week here about how Obama's gay and his or bisexual or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
his supposed lover came out and was
Hmm.
airing his dirty laundry. But I'm just sitting here like, who gives a shit, man? You know,
Yeah,
live your life,
yeah,
bro. Do what you got to do. If you wake up in the morning and you want a little little snatchy snatch, that's fine. And maybe you want a hot dog. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it
Whatever
just
like keeps you alive, do it.
yeah, it how is that really news? I mean, whatever.
Hmm.
I totally sidetracked this. I do that a lot.
Hmm. That's
But
okay. Yeah. Fortunately for you, I'm an experienced podcaster. I can bring topics back.
zing! Look at that. There we go.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to
So
say?
yeah, so I'm trying to say, like, India is doing the same thing right now. Um, because there are people who want like a part of India for their own state. I mean, it's not even practical at this point of time, and it never was a state actually. So like it has become like a terrorist group, and India is like taking care of that. And
Okay.
all
So
of
there's a
them are like taken shelter in Canada as Canadian citizens. So this
really.
Trudeau guy says, like, like India has killed these people, they are Canadians, like how dare they. And every time India was like, okay, we are sorry, like we are sorry we did this, we were being Canadians. And for the first time in history we were like, yeah, so what, like what the fuck you gonna do? I mean, you got a shit military. You don't have a good air force. You cannot touch us. Like, because right now United States and Canada are like pressuring India to export rice when we have banned it, because they are saying there will be like huge food shortages if we stop exporting rice, because it's a very cheap food. And for the first time India is like, okay, so we're just not going to do it. Like, do whatever you want.
India has a very strong military. Most Americans wouldn't know that.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
kind of a
we
shame.
have third largest military in the world,
Yeah.
and it's like the biggest voluntary army. Like we don't have conscription here. You can join or like do whatever the fuck you want. Like nobody
Nice.
cares.
Now, did your country used to have the conscription where you had to mandatory serve or no?
Yeah, kind of back in World War I, World War II, when we were under British. I will give you like one small amazing kind of fact here. Like in World War I, there was 1.7 million Indian dead, like
Wow.
troops.
Holy
And
smokes.
yeah, and at least like 800,000 people went missing, or just no records.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
something you
and
don't
we
see in
we
American
fought
history
for
books.
British. That's the thing. Like we fought for British. It's like a black person fighting in a civil war.
Sure. Well, the British are notorious
Yeah.
for that. I mean, they have the
Hmm.
Gurkhas that they use,
Hmm.
who are very fierce fighting force. Those guys are crazy, man.
Yeah, but in India has a bigger Gorkha like battalions than British.
Hmm.
Yeah, because we don't like bullshit with them. Because British are like, okay, if you're a Gurkha, come being in be in our army. We will give you citizenship. We'll give you money and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you did not know that.
I knew that. I'm just busting your balls. I'm wondering. I'm really wondering. Have you fed your dog, or what are you doing to that poor dog, man? He's in the background crying or something.
She's not. She's like like she just got bored. She was chewing a bone and she's like, okay, fuck you. Now come play with me.
Well, bring her in, man. We're dog friendly here on this show, and since you painfully pointed out earlier that we're not a professional podcast, bring her in,
That's
jackass.
okay. Yeah, she's just playing here and there. That's like fine.
What am I gonna do with you, man? What am I gonna do? So speaking of rap, do you rap at all?
Oh my god, absolutely no.
Ah, yeah, me
I,
neither.
I, I suck at it.
Me too. As you can see,
Yeah.
I'm white, so I have no rhythm. So I'm a failure from the start.
Mm,
What can I say? Um,
yeah.
you know what I find out, and I'm waiting for you to enlighten me, but I find this very interesting that a lot of, we have a lot of Indians that immigrate here to the United States, and you see a lot of them wearing turbans, and ignorant
Hmm.
Americans make fun of that. But
Yeah.
but bet most Americans don't. I'd even go to say 98% probably have no idea how
Hmm.
bad those dudes really are.
I was getting to that point because, you know, I see this like often like Sikhs
Hmm.
um, are confused for Muslims. I'm like, how the fuck do you get to that? Because most of Muslims don't have mustaches; they just have beards,
Right.
right? And Sikhs have both beard and a mustache, and they're very good looking,
And they're
and they're badasses. Like, and they can kick someone's ass, but they're very humble.
sure. But my point is that,
So they just get targeted all the time.
yeah, these ignorant Americans, they just don't know the hornet's nest that they're messing with.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, because like even in India right now, right? Like let's say me and you were driving behind me, you rear-ended me, right? Let's say, you
Oh,
know,
now you're calling me a
we
bad
don't wait
driver.
for cops. I don't know how good you drive.
This guy, this guy over here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, like we don't wait for cops. Like this is not even like a overstatement. It's the truth. Like we don't wait for cops.
mhm.
Yeah, if you're being civil, I will be civil, but you know, things can turn shit very
Oh
quickly.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's not like like Indians are this river of compassionate and soulless or non-violent people. Gandhi might have definitely look us like that, but I can assure you, like Indians are not like that. Like they don't take shit for no reason.
oh I agree with you. Like I told you earlier, I have Indian friends, and uh,
Hmm.
which is where I've learned a lot of this stuff from. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see it that way at all.
Hmm.
But I've been to many different countries all around the world, and I've seen the worst of the worst.
Hmm.
And I wish that more Americans would have that opportunity to see some of that stuff, because that would it'd make them appreciate what we have, and maybe some of this woke
Yeah.
crap and this other crap we got going on wouldn't be going on. But tell me
Yeah.
more about the Sikhs, man. They're fascinating.
Yeah, they are fascinating because like their religion was solely created to protect people. That's kind of their basis. They are like, we are here to protect our own people, and you know and you also have to understand like the state that they come from. It's called as Punjab, and it's a very flat land, and it's a very fertile land actually.
Hmm.
And you have direct access from Pakistan, Afghanistan, like the whole Asia. You had direct access to Punjab, and other states were not so easily accessible because mountain ranges and everything. But
Sure.
Punjab was like a very flat land and easy to attack, and it was a very good target. So Sikhs have fought like outnumbered wars where they were outnumbered by 13 times or 14 times.
Jesus.
um and there was a war where they were like 300 versus 12,000 people, and they still managed to hold the 13,000 people.
Huh.
um so
Fierce.
Sikhs in history are very very similar to Vikings. Like they're just brutes and they don't give a shit. Like they will harm themselves to kill more people in the war, like that. They're very selfless in that manner.
There.
So you never see, even in World War I, you never saw like Sikh troops actually surrendering, and that was one of the fact why many Sikhs got killed in the war, because they were just not there um to surrender.
Fight to the
And
death.
also I will just let you know the fact, like when we fought in World War I and World War II, no Indian could be an officer.
Really. In the British military.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
you
believe
could
that.
never, you could be a soldier, like a foot soldier, but that's the maximum extent you could be.
Interesting. I am not surprised, but I didn't know that.
Hmm.
That's very, very interesting. I just lost my turn. Oh, so correct me if I'm wrong, but even to this day, most Sikhs have a special dagger that they always have with them. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's required by the religion to have. It's like needed. So they will have a comb to comb their hair, and they will have a kada, a metal bangle that they wear. And today it's more of a fashion statement. They just wear one. But back in the days, if you look at it, they had these big rings, like almost double of anybody's hand, and the edges would be sharp, and they used to throw that in the battle to kill someone.
Nice.
So they had to carry that. They had to carry a small, it's called a skirpan. Kirpan is like a small dagger, as you said. So they're required to carry that by religion. So all women, children, elders, everybody carries it.
I bet you didn't expect me to know that, did you?
I mean, you are a veteran, so I expect you to know it.
Well, I tell you what, I got a lot of veteran friends that wouldn't know that. I'll tell you right up front. But
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by it, man. It's.
Hmm.
I actually want to go back and I want to dive into some more of the history of it because,
Hmm.
like you said, they're fierce warriors. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fierce warriors. I like the whole. There's no quit. You fight to the death.
Hmm. Yeah.
I didn't. I spent, like I said, a lot of time in the military, so a lot of that time was with the Marine Corps. So that's how
Hmm.
those guys are too. You're just trained to fight, and you fight to the death. There's no surrender. You're there for your battle buddy to the left and to the right of you, and that's why you
Hmm.
get get done what you got to get done. But yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to study up on that more, and maybe next time I can surprise you with some more facts that this white dude shouldn't know.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
But I'm going to
Yeah.
cheat too because I'm going to get my Indian friends to help me.
Yeah, that's okay, as long as you understand what you're talking about.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing a talking point, and then when you hit me with the facts, I'm like, well, you're racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's too funny, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what else do you like to do for fun?
Yeah, just live life. Go on long drives. Especially because in India, like owning a four-wheeler is like kind of premium. Uh, Everybody has a two-wheeler,
Right.
like a bike or a scooter.
Yep.
Um, and that's more common because Indians are very like um, low maintenance.
Sure.
Like they don't need a lot of shit to feel good. So yeah, owning a car is rare. So like not rare, but of course, almost every family has it, but it's not like everybody has a car, right, in a family. So yeah, I go on long drives on my bike and just like enjoy life. um yeah, that's kind of my deal.
So my wife is Filipino, from the Philippines,
Hmm.
and very
Okay.
similar. Lots of they
Yeah.
call them motors. The motorbikes.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, and they I think,
Hmm.
does India have something like a, they call it in Philippines a jeepney? So it's like a kind of like a bus, but it's like
Hmm.
open to air and people jump on. It's like a multi-person taxi.
Hmm. I don't think India has that. Because here is one thing, like I will tell your ignorant American
Yeah,
audience.
you
I
bastards.
just offended your audience. Yeah, India has a very sophisticated public transport system, like very sophisticated. There are villages where there are less than like 100 people living, and every day at least like 4 to 5 buses go to that particular village, even
Wow,
if there are no like customers.
that's amazing. We don't even have that crap
Yeah,
in the
and
states.
India has a like the yeah, that's what I really think, because when people talk about Greyhound, they talk shit about it. I'm like, yeah, you don't understand like what or how important bus system is for a country, right?
Yep. Well, again, entitled
Because
Americans.
yeah, because everybody is traveling in Ryanair and all this like bullshit airplanes. That's no, that are less safer than the bus of a Greyhound. I'm pretty sure about that.
You know, I agree with you on that one. But in Japan, we were stationed in Japan for 3 years, and
Hmm.
Japan's got public transportation on lock. Man, they've got it down to a science. If
Yeah.
you're 30 seconds late catching your train, well, you just wait for the next one because they're on time, they're
Mhm.
punctual, and the only time that they're
Yeah.
not is if there's.
Mhm.
They had a big rash when we were there of people killing themselves by jumping on the tracks, which
Mhm.
which is crazy in and of itself. But that would delay the train systems, and that's like that ruins everything in Japan because so many of their citizens rely on that
Yeah.
public transportation to get to work, school,
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. But other than those few
Yeah.
instances, their transportation's awesome. We took the train all the
Mhm.
time. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah, but Japan also has like the highest suicide rate in the world.
Yeah, well,
Um,
they're going to die out soon anyway because they also they're not producing children anymore.
yeah,
The
it's like
octogenarians.
I think that's the reason I believe in this conspiracy theory. Like we are all children of aliens. Yeah, because if you look at it, right, if a human race advances enough in terms of technological advancement and like better life, let's say, the whole civilization looks like they don't want to have children.
Since you went there, do
Hmm.
you believe in UFOs?
Oh fuck yeah, yeah, I'm convinced.
I am too. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I believe that there's little green men running around all
Hmm.
over the place, but there's definitely things in the sky that have been caught by very credible sources and many credible people that you can't explain them. So until they explain it,
Yeah, because the same congressman said, right, because he said, I know someone who knows a lot about aliens, and I'm like, yeah, just say that, right, just say what he said to you. And he was his whole funda in it's Hindi, sorry. It's like his whole facade was like people will not be people anymore if they know what we know.
well, you know what really,
And
go ahead.
mhm, yeah, because I hate whenever a government treats their people like idiots,
Thank you. I was just getting ready to go there.
because they're like, it's like that famous movie of Tom Cruise, like, do you want the truth, you cannot handle the truth. Like, that's bullshit, right? You tell people what is the actual truth and let people decide what the fuck they want to do. And if they don't want to pay taxes anymore, and if they don't want to support the fucking industrial complex anymore, then be it, so be it, right? Because then you're just, because this government, especially in Western countries, it's amazing how people talk about democracy, because democracy does not exist in Western countries anymore. Because if you look at policies, it's not people central, it's just industry central.
Yeah.
If you just look at initiatives, Biden is the same guy who demands companies to, decrease fuel rates, and he's the same guy who say, I will end fossil fuels
Right.
consumption.
All I had to
You
say,
don't, because the freaking military and air force and navy depend on it.
right. All I have to say to that is, let's go, Brandon. Anyway, you you brought up a movie that I've seen so many damn times. It's ridiculous. A Few Good Men. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the final courtroom scene with good old Jack Nicholson there, and you're goddamn right. I ordered the code red. Great movie.
Yeah.
Sorry. See,
But
shiny things.
do you feel like he was somewhere right in his point of view?
I'm going to give you
Somewhat.
my answer. It's probably not the popular answer, but absolutely. I agreed with him 100%.
Yeah.
It's a different world in the military. Back then, not so much now, but back then, we didn't call them code reds back then, but yeah, that stuff existed and it served a purpose, and you weeded out the weak that way. Nowadays,
Yeah.
there's no more hazing. You can't offend anybody or hurt their feelings. And how does that express combat readiness? It doesn't. It detracts from it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. There was a general who came on Tuckerson's show, Carl Tuckerson. Oh, I don't remember his name.
Tucker
I'm just
Carlson.
killing his name. Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christian names.
Well, I didn't hear the last part.
And he was saying, I said Christian names. I'm very confused, like with Christian names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, like, if Americans knew how war prepared we are, he said they would cry themselves to bed.
Yeah.
Our equipments are old. We are putting wrong people in wrong positions, and
Man.
yeah, because like I someone says, a freaking liberal student once said to me, like, an army should function like a society, and I was like, no, it should not.
No.
um, it should definitely not. There needs to be discipline and rules and laws, and a society does not have any of that.
No, it's
Because in
go ahead.
I am not in armed forces by any means. I just play games where I shoot people. um, but I understand and respect people who are in armed forces, because they are putting their lives down for what, right?
You
Just look at Ukraine.
It's funny you say
Just
that
look at Ukraine.
because I shoot people and play games. Wait, that didn't come out right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Ignore that. I hope nobody's listening. But yeah,
I
don't
hope nobody listens to that.
don't get me started on Ukraine because we sure don't have enough time to get into that. But man, I tell you what, it's about that time that we're going to roll into our veterans helping veterans section. So this week, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to highlight a particular organization, and they are called Hope for the Warriors. And let me just throw something up here real quick so you can check them out here if you want to check out the little QR code there and give them a look. But their mission is basically they believe that those who are touched by military service can succeed at home by restoring their sense of self, family, and hope. Nationally, Hope for the Warriors provides comprehensive support programs for service members, veterans, and military families that are focused on transition, health and wellness, peer engagement, and connections to community resources. So I highly encourage everyone to go check them out. They are a nonprofit national organization, and they are doing good things for our veterans. And as always, if you, the listeners, have a organization that you would like us to highlight, a veteran helping veteran organization, please contact us. Let us know, and we'll be more than happy to do that. I'll just leave this up here for a few more minutes so folks can check that out if they'd like. But Ganesh, man, dude, it has been a pleasure talking with you. Even though you've insulted me the whole show, but whatever. You're
Yeah.
still not getting that $20.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, because we were talking about Ukraine, just a small point. Like, people like to talk about feminism and equality of opportunity and all this bullshit, right? Where are the Ukrainian women? Like, are they fighting in the forefront like Afghani people did? Because they say Afghani women are like, and Syrian women are like oppressed, and they fought ISIS and Taliban, right? Where are Ukrainian women? Like, are they fighting Russians
They're in the kitchen. Wait, did I say that out
in
loud? Wait a minute.
in a different country?
Oh,
You
geez.
forgot to add the part, in a different country.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm going to get canceled for that. But here's the great thing about that: you can't cancel somebody that doesn't even have any followers. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
Ganesh, you so succinctly put it earlier that we're a second bit podcast at best. So I appreciate that.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
I like to keep you humble.
yeah, it means a lot coming from the Indian Joe Rogan. It really does. So how many listeners do you have? Two?
Like now I'm think now it,
Go ahead.
my podcast has like 1,200 listeners on average per episode.
Damn, you are the Indian Joe Rogan.
Definitely not.
Well, if you're, never mind. I should just let that one die. Bury it and never bring it up again.
Yeah. So yeah, it is like, because I'm also growing. Like, we have like 27 episodes out there in the wild.
How many?
27 episodes.
Nice. So you got, oh, look, we got somebody that just popped in the room. My buddy Rick Schilling, a.k.a. Shrek. What up, Shrek? He just popped in to say hello real quick. Just like a blister shows up after all the work's done. You know we're about done with this podcast, right, Shrek? Good job, buddy. Way to support. Jeez. You know what? Friends like that, who needs freaking enemies? This has been fascinating, dude. I would love, it's only an hour. I don't feel like I've gotten to ask you everything I wanted to ask you. So I'd like to give you an open invitation to come back anytime you'd like. And we'll do it all again, and we'll talk about all kinds of other things and see how many people we can offend.
Yeah. I think you should have a small offense counter on the top right or top left, where every time we offend someone, we just keep adding on to that.
That's a great idea. I have a story, something similar to that, but unfortunately, we don't have enough time for it. I'll give you the gist of it. When I was enlisted most of my career, and then I got a commission, so I had to go to what was called Officer Development School, and I got my whole class's liberty secured, meaning canceled. I got their whole. It was our first weekend off, and I got that canceled by something stupid I did, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been retired now for 2 years. I went through that school 14 years ago, and they still talk about that incident.
So you are pretty rebellious.
I'm just me. I'm unique. But anyway, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did as well.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to end this a little bit earlier because, believe it or not, I know you can't tell, but I'm supposed to be camping right now. So I came back in so we could do the interview, and then I'm going to head back out and do some campfire and some s'mores. But
God.
if anyone wants to find you, how can they find you? Particularly your podcast.
So just search for Sapient Podcast.
How do you spell that for people that can't understand your accent?
SAPIENT. Sapient is the podcast name. So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere that any podcast catcher that you're listening to. Yeah, that's it. Like, you can also find me on Instagram under Ganesh. If you just search for my name, I'm pretty famous. I'm pretty big for this podcast.
You're a big deal,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm big
Even if
deal.
it's in your own mind.
Yeah, definitely. It's in my own mysterious land that I'm famous in.
Well, all right, sir. I am definitely going to check out your podcast. I
Yeah.
I may or may not even troll it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Please.
But you'll know who it is,
Yeah,
and
I
you
lack
just be
haters
that.
right now. So yeah, please.
I'll hate on you. It won't be real hate. It'll just be made up hate, but it'll be entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not at all an issue for me. But yeah, like thank you very much, Andy, for having me.
Oh,
It
my
was fun.
pleasure. My pleasure, my
Because
friend.
I don't do a lot of podcasts as a guest. I just like to talk shit on my own podcast.
Well, that's
Um,
fair.
yeah,
I'm the same way. I have not been on a lot of podcasts, but it's fun when I am. So I hope you enjoyed it,
yeah,
sir. And any last words
yeah,
before we get out of here?
yeah. Take care. Don't fight each other. Don't drop nukes. At least for next 50 years. And yeah, be peaceful
Right.
and live life.
Yeah, because in 50 years, I'll be long gone. So wait at least 50 years. All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
then
Thank
it's
you
too
so
soon to
much
my
for.
body.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And Ganesh, I'll talk to you soon, my friend.